You are listening to Accessibility Solutions. If you're a business looking to improve your bottom line, then you're in the right place. In this show, we will discuss how making the world accessible is great for business and the economy. My name is Linda Hunt, and I am an award-winning accessibility consultant, speaker, and author, and a longtime advocate for all things related to accessibility. Thank you for joining me. Now let's get started. Hi, and thanks for joining me this week. This is part 2 of our candidate chat. For those of you who have not listened to part 1, I am running for Brantford City Council for the position of councillor in Ward 4. Got a couple things that I'd like to talk about this week while I've been out on the campaign trail. And one of them is something that I was not sure that I was going to deal with on the campaign trail. Most persons with disabilities do deal with it in everyday life. But there was a very nice older gentleman who wondered when I knocked on his door, would I be okay to be a city councillor because I'm in a wheelchair? And I just want to address the fact that what that is what we call ableism. And the dictionary defines ableism as the discrimination or prejudice against people who have disabilities. It can take the form of ideas and assumptions, stereotypes, attitudes, practices, physical barriers in the environment, or large-scale oppression. It is oftentimes unintentional, and most people are completely unaware of the impact of their words or actions. So this gentleman was very nice. We had a nice discussion, but the fact that he somehow saw me as a candidate in a wheelchair that would maybe not be able to carry out the job as a city councillor was in fact ableism. So I have a degree in business administration. I have held some very significant leadership roles throughout my career. I currently run 2 very successful businesses, and I am extremely involved in my community. So there is absolutely no reason that anyone would think that the fact that I'm in a wheelchair would somehow detract from my ability to serve as a Brantford City Councillor. So I want to flip to the other side now and talk about the very nice gentleman that I met with who had kind of a very high set of stairs, and I had somebody knock on the door and introduce who I was, and I was down in his driveway. And he actually came all the way down his steps and sat down in the driveway at eye level and had a conversation with me. That is the opposite of ableism. That is someone that is recognizing the fact that I have a physical disability, which means I'm in a seated position, but actually sitting and talking to me face to face. Which was very refreshing, and that is definitely something that everybody can take some guidance from when you're dealing with anyone from a disability. So those were 2 of my experiences this week. We've been out talking to lots of people, and there are lots of issues that we're facing at the door, which I can certainly, as a longtime resident of Ward 4, as a business owner in Ward 4, I can certainly relate to the issues that people are talking to me at the door about. The main one being, which happens to come up every time there is an election, is speeding in traffic. And so I think, the solution to this is just to advise everybody to slow down. We are all trying to get somewhere, and we all want to get there in one piece and not harm anyone in our travels. So that's that, it's not necessarily always intentional, but let's just take a breath and let's all slow. The other issue that we're hearing a lot about at the door in Ward 4 is the current state of the former Airedale Golf Course. Unfortunately, this is an issue that has polarized the city. It's divided residents and council. It's really left the residents with a serious feeling that their voices were not being heard, that there was very little lack of community engagement. The handling of the sale, there was a lack of communication. There's a true feeling of, I want to call it heartbreak, with some of the people that I've talked to that are, still to this day, very, very distraught over what happened with the Airedale Golf Course sale. There are concerns in the city about the loss of green space. We had 49 acres that was sitting in the middle of Ward 4. That was a beautiful piece of property. The other issue that people are talking about now is the current state of the property and how it's been basically let go. The property standards have not been kept up, and it's an eyesore, and it's quite frankly a shame to see it like that. We're also hearing concern at the door about the possible issues that will develop when and if the site undergoes redevelopment. And there are serious concerns from people at the door that we are going to end up with demonstrations and occupations such that have happened in neighboring communities right here in the middle of Brantford. So I listen to these concerns, which are all very, very valid, and I understand where you're coming from. So my promise to everybody is that I am not flagging some big political platform here about what I'm going to do as one councillor. Certainly sitting around the council table, you are one of 10 councillors and a mayor that are elected to represent the citizens of the city of Brantford. And it's very important and very serious to me that me as a sitting councillor and all the other sitting councillors that are there are understanding that they are there to represent the people who voted to elect them to that position. So I think back to how the Airedale decision was made and the lack of community engagement, which is something that I'm very passionate about, regardless of what it is, that you must engage the community in these kinds of decisions. It's not a decision that should have been made by 10 people sitting around a council table and a mayor. And I will note, of those 10 councillors, 3 of them did not vote in favor of selling Airedale. But I think that we need to somehow, bring our community back together and heal over this decision. And let's hope that issues. And so I really hope with this new term of council that we are able to move beyond decisions of the previous council and really, as a new group of councillors, really embrace the fact that the community wants to be engaged in the decisions being made around the council table. The other issue that I am hearing a lot about at the door is the state of healthcare. And as a person with a disability, I can tell you that I interact quite a bit more than the general population probably does with the healthcare system. But the healthcare system, unfortunately, is chronically underfunded. And so we have a system that is broken from the top down, and where we really see it are what's happening at the boots on the ground level. This is not a municipal issue. It's not a Brantford only issue or a Brant County only issue. It's an issue that is prevalent across the province. And, certainly as a municipality, we have a role to play in being able to put some pressure on our provincial government counterparts to recognize that the city of Brantford and the county of Brant does need to improve our healthcare system, which does include the hospital. I've heard significant concerns about the ambulance offload program. It's, there are crises happening all over our municipality. And as I said, we certainly need to work with our provincial representatives on how we can address that. So I'm going to wrap up for there this week. I certainly hope that we're going to talk more about some other issues next week in the podcast. If you have not already had the opportunity, online voting is open now. So you can vote online. The information is there on your voter card, which you should have got in the mail. There is also this coming week from the 12th through to the 15th, advance polls are open. And so you can vote at either the Wayne Gretzky Sports Center or the Civic Center from the 12th to the 15th of October. And the actual election day is October 24th. Again, I encourage and invite you to please reach out and contact me via phone or email. My phone number is 519-753-1233. Thank you to all of you who have reached out to me, and I look forward to speaking with you. And until next week, we will sign off, and a happy Thanksgiving to all. Cheers.
Thank you for listening to Accessibility Solutions. For a free 15-minute consultation to discuss how accessibility can improve your business bottom line, please visit solutions4accessibility.com. I love hearing from my listeners, so please feel free to email me at linda@solutions4accessibility.com or connect with Accessibility Solutions on LinkedIn, Facebook, or subscribe to the Accessibility Solutions YouTube channel.